Hey, BB fans! Welcome to the Who Wants to See My HOH Room podcast, where we talk all things Big Brother.
Let's go!
All right, so episode 1. So let's get into this cast. Okay, so we know that BB is well on its way, and of course, us super fans are all excited about it. But what are your predictions here? Like, who do you think is going to be a showman? Who do you think is going to be like sneaky and all that kind of stuff? What are you guys thinking? This is a very diverse cast, which I'm very excited about. So that's cool.
Yeah, love the diversity.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait to see what Cerie's gonna do, because she is, oh my gosh, just an absolute legend on Survivor. And she's gonna kill it in Big Brother. I can't wait to see.
Oh, yeah, of course. And then we have some other interesting cast members, such as, I don't know why, but I really think Heesum is going to go far.
I do too.
Yeah,
Something
I can
tells
see that.
me. Yeah.
He's
like,
gonna have a great social game for sure.
Oh, yeah, 100%, because he's, like, very likable, and I think he has a good head on his shoulders, and he'll be able to really...
I think he's gonna do well in competitions too. He's got the build for it and everything. Yeah.
I agree. Obviously, we know that, spoiler alert, Kirsten isn't going very far.
No.
Yeah, we'll get into that because that's more so episode 4. I think Red is a big personality. I think he's going to be funny.
Oh yeah,
he's
gonna be hilarious.
Yeah, he's kind of giving me vibes from that. I can't remember which season that was, but there was a gentleman that he kind of reminds me of. I can't remember who. I don't even know why I brought that up.
Yeah, I'll see there. Who's this lady? Izzy. What about thoughts on Izzy?
Well, another spoiler alert, the fact that she is one of the few people that already knew about Cirie and her son.
Yes.
I feel like she's probably going to end up saying something at some point.
I think she's definitely going to wind up. So, I mean, they better not cross her because she's liable to say whatever she wants at that point.
Oh yeah, they have to keep her in their back pocket,
Either
even
that,
though,
or they're going to get rid of her really fast.
Yeah, I think if it was my game, I'd probably get rid of her really fast.
Yeah,
because,
you can't trust anyone in Big Brother.
No, you really can't. And the fact that she immediately made a big deal about it once she noticed who was in the house and that was her son, which, let's back up a little bit because we kind of didn't even talk about the twist. The twist was that Cirie is, as you were saying from Survivor, she's here with her son, Jared. Okay, so she's here with Jared, and they're supposed to be like not spilling the beans on the fact that they're related. And sometimes I'm like, yo, y'all doing too much, like giving hugs and kisses.
Yeah, extra long hugs.
Yeah.
Talking, game whispering.
They hugged for like a whole hour.
Exactly. So I was just like, y'all might want to chill out on that because
it's kind of obvious at this point. You
Right.
get a little obvious.
Well, what do you guys even think about the twist? Do you think it's fair? Like, do you like it?
I think the twist is fair in the fact that she's a legend with Survivor, so it's not like she's just some random that they're putting in. So therefore, it's really putting a target on her back already.
I was just about to say that she's coming in with a target on her back because it's like, oh wow, she did so well in Survivor. She knows how to play games pretty well, so they might just try to attack her.
Exactly. So it's
she might need a little bit extra.
I was like, well, she does have the intel from her son because, they don't know that they're related and he can go and tell her things because no one knows that they're actually working together. So she does have that advantage from the twist. Yeah,
she does. So it's like it's a gift and a curse all at the same time. It's like you have this legend. People are definitely coming after her, especially Corey. Corey is like starstruck. Meeting Cirie. Like, he
said it so many times in the confessional and everything like that, so he's definitely excited about that.
Yeah.
After he came from
the pits of
the underworld, I don't even know what they call it.
Right, the multiverse something. I don't know. Nether region.
Oh, nether region. Yeah. That's right. He immediately was like, oh my gosh, is that Cirie from Survivor? And from there, he already said, he was like, I'm definitely going to be coming after her, so.
Right. So, he's already got a target on her that he's trying to He's trying to get her. So right
Which is
there.
smart on his end.
Oh yeah, of course. It's smart gameplay. Like if you see somebody like that, especially if you know their game already because you've watched them on Survivor, you kind of know what
how they play the game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that's smart on his part. Let's see who else is here that we can talk about. How about I think Bowie? She's just kind of chilling right now. She's not really doing much. Which is cool because it's the beginning. You don't want to play too hard, which is what happened with Kirsten. She was doing too much too fast, and then all of a sudden she was just outed, which they really thought was kind of weird how rude they were to her. Like they isolated her so
Yes,
quickly.
Yeah, that
Yes.
guy said, who was it? Someone said something like, "Oh, they usually don't play like that."
Luke,
Yeah.
Oh,
Luke said that.
Good old Luke.
Yeah, which we'll get into him in a bit. Moving right along, though. Yes, Luke did make that mention that it's like, I don't know why everybody's kind of giving you the cold shoulder. That's
Yeah.
something we do later on, but they were doing it.
Yeah, it
early.
happened so fast, and it
Mhm.
was just like she was by herself. Felt really bad for her. I mean, she's not like a bad person. I mean, she did go too hard,
She
but
definitely
like
did.
they didn't need to treat her that badly. I don't think.
Yeah.
No.
Had her working out by herself in
Yeah.
the corner.
She's just sitting there watching everybody have fun. and She's
Mhm.
over there by herself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Definitely felt sad for her, but she did go way too hard in the beginning. Like
Oh, yeah,
she
for
went
sure.
had that Phalanx 5, which lasted for all of 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And then after that, she went and tried to corral up with all the older people, and that just
You see how
didn't
that
go
failed.
well. So
Right. Maybe if she didn't do the failing 5, whatever it was called, flailing, I don't know,
Flailing five.
whatever. Maybe if she didn't do that and just went straight to the older people that were there, maybe she would have had better success because they kind of started forming their own thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they did.
she did have a point there, and they do have a couple young people in that group that are working with them. So I think that's cool. So the house is kind of starting to look a little divided.
Yeah, already.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's very distinct, and they don't even try to hide it, which is kind of funny. Like it's just, oh, let's all go hang out outside, and it's literally every member of the
group.
alliance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it was nice to honestly see like all the older people like get together and try and work together for once, because there's every time the older person ends up going home first.
yeah,
And now that there's like multiple,
Yeah.
they're kind of working together and trying to make a change.
Mhm.
It's cool.
yeah. That is true. Because like usually it's one old guy,
Yeah.
one old man.
And
I mean, one old
Usually
one old woman.
They're usually the first ones out the door.
Yeah.
So they're trying to change that up, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then let's talk about Riley's reign. What did you guys think in terms of how she did as HOH?
I think she did pretty well. It was pretty standard. She didn't do
Yeah.
anything crazy or out of the box.
Yeah.
Which is what most
Pretty much
people
went
do.
with the house's consensus to
Mhm.
pretty much get. What was her name? Kirsten.
They
Kirsten.
kept saying Kirsten in Kirsten. I'm like,
It's Kirsten.
Okay,
Okay.
Kirsten.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, she didn't really get any blood on her hands having her up there, and it's like, okay. I mean, it's pretty easy week.
Yeah.
Nothing like
yeah,
too
nothing
crazy.
spectacular.
Yeah, you know how Big Brother likes to film things, and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm thinking about switching up the vote," and we all know
yeah.
it's
Oh,
like
Yeah,
Every
not-
time.
Yeah.
every single time.
it's like you're right.
You're like,
okay.
maybe we could get this other person out. It's like, okay, we kind of all know how it's still gonna go.
Mhm.
Like,
Exactly.
I'm guessing they tell them to do that or something. Cause,
Probably, because then it'd be pretty boring if it's just like we're getting Kirsten
Right.
and we just stick with this.
And it's
Yeah.
like, that's it, everybody. You already know how the votes are gonna go.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So how about the bye bitches? The way they came up with that name was hilarious. I
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah, that was
That was so
that was
funny.
That was good. That was a good one.
Mhm.
Such an epic moment. And Miss Felicia is the one who came up with the name because it was written on the wall.
Literally.
was gonna say I was right there for them. So.
Right. So, very interesting name, but it consists of quite a few people. I think it was Felicia, Siri, Heesum, or Heisum, probably saying his name wrong. Izzy, and I believe Nicole as well. And I think Red was on the cusp of joining them, I think.
I think he was in it.
He was in it?
Fully.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think they called him up.
All right. So, yeah. So that's a pretty big alliance, which is going against the other side of the house, which is basically just all the younger people, which would be America. Wait, was America in there? Yeah, right? I think she was.
Yeah, I'm not sure actually.
Blue, we know. Cameron. Corey got called into it. Jag. I don't know where I got Bog from. Jag. Jared. And then, was Luke in it? Not that it matters at this point.
Yeah, was he? I mean, it doesn't matter, but...
Yeah, Matt and Riley. So they have the majority.
Yeah.
So it's very crucial that the other side of the house actually win, because they're definitely going to pick them off one by one.
yeah,
We've
for
seen
sure.
this before.
Yep.
And it's a pretty athletic bunch. So hopefully,
They can hold their own.
hopefully.
Make it interesting.
Yes, we need some underdogs to win. All right. So also, how about, what were your thoughts on Luke?
Okay. Mr. Narwhal. Well, it was just so interesting, because like, the way he even wound up saying it was just like, it was so confusing as to why he even said it, because like it didn't seem like it needed to be said at all, and he just came out, said it, and then I was trying to say narwhal. It's like, yeah, no, you said that a little too casually,
Yeah, no.
meaning you probably use that in your everyday life anyway.
You can tell it rolled right off the tongue.
Oh,
There
yeah,
was
for
no
sure.
hesitation. He was, and then the fact that Jason, or is that his name? Jason?
Jason, I know Heesum and Corey were in the room.
And
believe.
so
her
was,
sons.
Yeah, her
Cerie's
sons.
Oh, and Cerie's son, which,
No, Jared.
Jared,
Jared.
yeah.
He was just very odd with his response to it.
It didn't seem to phase him in the least bit. It phased the others more so than it did him.
Yeah,
and
they ran out the room.
Yeah,
They're
they
all,
were like,
let's
okay.
go get our butts kicked so we can
Right.
get out the room.
Yeah, which was smart. I would have removed myself too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
don't have
Um,
anything to do with someone who's like uses language like that, because they
Right.
were already like, okay, this just took a turn for the worse.
Mhm.
Yeah, and we know that in BB history, like when you act unfavorably on TV, it does follow you into your regular life. So it's
Yes.
like, this isn't a bubble that you're living in that nobody will ever see these things.
Mhm.
Yeah, like Evil
Um,
did.
Yeah, he went to jail.
That's not funny. I didn't even know he went to jail.
He was doing some crazy stuff.
All right, well, we're not talking about Evil Dick right now. We're talking about Jared's response.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, then he was like, oh, well, you know, it's funny that they left the room. I don't, like, I should have the biggest reaction, but I don't. And I'm just like,
Like,
bruh.
well, why don't you?
Right, like, sir,
Yeah.
what's going on? You talking? And then when they told him he couldn't come back, his reaction was very weird then too. I thought, where he was
yeah,
kinda like,
figure
why?
it out.
He
He
was-
seems so like, why are they upset that he said that? Like,
even when they were trying to have the discussion about it, because there were other people in the room besides him, and the guy's like, well, let's have like a little family discussion about what happened. He's like, I don't think we should be discussing this as a family. And I'm like, why not?
Right.
That didn't make any sense to me. I was like, well, there were multiple people in the room, and I saw
Mhm.
one lady was crying. I don't remember her name, but
I think that was Bowie.
You're,
who was
yeah,
crying.
Bowie
she
was
was.
crying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, other people maybe felt very awkward or affected by it, and it's not really fair for him to just cancel the meeting about what happened. So that was pretty strange.
Especially seeing how it
too.
didn't seem like it phased him in any way.
Right.
Now the other ones, they felt a certain way, so they should be able to speak on it, and
Mhm.
everybody like who was open to it should have listened.
Right. And
Yeah.
he kept saying because he was the only black man in the house, but I'm like, there's other black people in the house.
Right.
So
Like,
That
I
word
don't-
doesn't just affect him.
Yeah,
Right.
It doesn't affect him at all.
Apparently,
But,
yeah.
yeah, that was pretty strange.
Yeah, it was very strange. And then he said, I hope he learned something from it. I don't know how he would learn anything when you laid there and just made a joke of it and said, like, oh, yeah, it's cool, man. Like,
Yeah, it's like, why would he
So-
learn anything? He'd be like, oh, okay.
yeah, what did he learn from this, Jared? I'm not really understanding. But then in his confessional, he was like saying that he didn't know what to do
Yeah.
because he was in that predicament, just kind of sitting there and wasn't like he didn't want to come off too aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
But then his responses afterward did not follow that confessional. So I don't know what was going on there, but more power to him, I guess.
Yeah,
Maybe he needs some learning as well. Not really sure what to say about that.
Yeah, it was just a odd situation.
It was.
It was very strange.
And unnecessary, Mr. Narwhal, well, or whatever. Yeah. So, all right. So let's get into these competitions. So the first one was the beam walking one, where we've seen that one before. Where basically
Yes.
it's like
Mhm.
who gets the shortest time, depending on whether you want the hard route, the easy route, or the
Mhm.
longer route, whatever.
Yeah.
No surprise there. But this is where Riley won, and this is how she became HOH. And
Her time was incredible.
it was. Riley was not playing no games.
No.
She was gonna win HOH. A lot of people were actually like, "Oh, I don't want to win it. I want to throw it," and was just throwing themselves off the beam and
Yeah,
being
that one
so
guy let her
obvious.
have it.
Yeah. So I don't know what that's about. Usually, the person who wins HOH first does pretty well historically.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they
so-
usually end up getting pretty far. So
I guess they didn't want to get like into
Blood on their
any type of
hands,
like,
yeah, in the
oh, I have to
very
make
beginning.
decisions or make people mad. They're like, this is an easy week, so like,
Mhm.
I'll let someone else have it. Maybe try to take it for themselves on a more like important week where it's like, okay, I'm gonna really need like some safety and have to watch my back and stuff like that.
yeah, but at the same time, I'm like, they already had the noms were made already for you.
Mhm.
Like, you just
Exactly,
gotta
so
take
they were
two
like,
people
why take it?
down. Like, I would have just took it because.
But now they could play in the next one. She can't. So, and this is probably a more important one than this one.
Yeah, I guess.
I guess.
But I just think this one was easily put together. Your HOH, you're starting to build your resume because you still got to build a resume as well at the end of the day.
That is true.
Unless we talk about the last season, but
Let's
let's
not even
go there. But yeah, so basically, yeah. Okay, so now let's talk about the veto. So the veto was that atomic wedgie one, where basically you're stacking a bunch of little flower pieces and trying to make like this I think it was 35 pieces that you had to get stacked up without falling and then go hit your button.
Mhm.
But while all this is happening, you're getting sprayed in the face with water, and you're getting an atomic wedgie where they're flying you into the air and pretending to pull your underwear up.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it was interesting. But oh my gosh, I felt for so many people like that were so close. Like Cameron, he literally was right there, had like 33 pieces up, and then his whole tower just fell.
Oh yeah, that was ridiculous.
Those competitions are rough to watch.
Mhm.
It is, because it's anybody's game. Like, it's no point of watching anybody else and how their progress is, because
It could all be
And
taken away from you like in a
exactly,
split second.
you could be on the last one and it all falls. So Hisam, I know I'm saying this man's name wrong. Hisam
I believe it's
Heisem.
Heisem.
Yes.
Heisem. He ended up winning this competition. He ended up getting the veto,
Mhm.
which I'm not mad at. he basically decided at the ceremony, he was kind of going back and forth, like, should he take Miss Felicia off, or should he just hold it for his own safety? Like, it's too much going on in the beginning of the game to make such a bold move to pull somebody off. Like, you're really not trying to put a target on your back.
Exactly.
So
he went with the safe route.
yeah,
And left Noms the same, which made sense. Exactly.
yeah, I definitely would have left him the same. I wouldn't have done nothing different.
Me either.
So that kept him from being on the block, kept any of his alliance from being replaced, because at the end of the day, Riley still had the option of who to put up, and it could have been somebody else from his group. So
yeah, very smart of him not to mess with the Noms, just leave them the same.
And he already knew Miss Felicia was safe, and Kirsten was the person that they were gunning for.
Exactly.
What do you guys think about that? Like, do you think maybe holding on to Kirsten was the better choice?
I think it definitely was for the younger group because she
number
would have worked
towards
with
them.
them. She would have been very loyal. You could
Although
tell.
no, remember she was trying to go work with the older people too.
Well, after that backfired on her, when people are out like that and they don't have any allies and they're just kind of a loner, generally when someone gives them a lifeline, they'll end up being very loyal to the people that decide to keep them.
Yeah.
So I think
she
would've been
was
smart.
very she had no loyalty, it seemed like, anyway, so
Well, she thought that Riley should have loyalty to her. She thought they were
course.
best friends after 3 days in the house.
of course she thinks that after she's the one on the block and she needs to be saved.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting, how upset she was about the fact that Riley put her up, but
And she was heartbroken when Hism didn't use the veto on her as well, so
yeah, and I was just like, girl.
She was heartbroken.
she was very heartbroken the whole time.
Yeah.
But I think, honestly, the one alliance that she got put in, the Phalanx 5, kind of randomly fell in her lap. And I don't think she was trying to be loyal to that. She was just like, oh, yeah, I'm right here, sure. But I think she actually did want to work with the older people, in my opinion. That's what it seemed.
I don't know what she was trying to do. It just seemed like she was like, well, okay to this, okay, I'll do that. And it's just like...
Yeah. I think she had to be doing more than what was even filmed.
She did way too much, and that's why I came back and bit her in the butt.
Yeah. Because for everybody to be like, get Kirsten out of here.
I mean, unanimous vote to get her out. They're like,
well,
she was
that's
doing too
how
much.
it normally goes in the beginning. Everyone votes exactly the same.
yeah, they vote the same.
I
But
mean,
like,
yeah, but still,
when
it's
Riley,
like, you did way, way, way too much.
She definitely did too much.
Yeah, she
but
overplayed.
I don't think it was intentional with the Phalanx thing. I think they were all sitting there talking about working out, and then all of a sudden it was like,
Yeah. Oh,
hey,
let's make
we
an
might as well make
alliance.
this an alliance. And
Of
it was
course.
like, huh?
There always
She's
winds
like-
up being like 52 alliances. every
Yeah, who's
season.
gonna say no to alliance?
that's
So-
true. Because
Because
once you
then,
say
yeah.
no, it's like,
And then
what?
they're like, well, get her out or
They're like,
whatever.
oh, she must be working with someone else. Then get her. Or, oh, why'd she turn us down? Get her. So, generally, if someone's in a room and people are like, hey, let's make an alliance, everyone's going to agree to it. Whether she was going to be loyal to that group or not.
And it seemed like a lot of them didn't want to. A lot of them seemed like, okay, this is kind of
Yeah,
like
it fell apart.
Whatever. No one was really like, oh my gosh, this is a real alliance. Everybody's like, okay,
Yeah,
this is
that's
kind of weird.
Right, and that's why I was saying I didn't think she really was going to be loyal to that group. She seemed like, I was in the room, they made this random alliance, and I was like, sure. But I don't think she's going to be loyal to that group. But
Well, yeah, none of them really were,
Yeah.
but that's why I think she had to be doing more than what we saw, because it made no sense for people to be like, oh, she's just doing too much,
Mm-hmm.
because she did nothing more than anybody else did from what we saw.
Right.
So that's why I think there's more behind it than. You know.
Well, the son went and told his mom about her having that other alliance,
Right.
and that's when things like started being like, oh, she's messy, and then
Exactly.
everything just was like,
Oh yeah, you're right. So maybe Siri.
Sari
So
told
Sari-
Felicia about it,
Yeah.
and then Felicia started campaigning against her.
because she was
Yeah.
like, oh, she came up to me, and then she was
Right.
like, oh, well,
So
she came up to
she-
me too, and
Mhm.
oh, well, she's in another alliance with 5 other people, and it's just like,
It might have spiraled from that conversation.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But oh well. Bye, Kirsten. You're number 1 on the list to go into.
home.
Yeah.
Go into an airplane and to your home.
Exactly. I don't know what I was about to say, but
I think you're about to say jury, baby.
No,
Not
girl,
yet.
jury. Just you were about 10 away.
right.
That's true. She gets to watch everything play out.
Yeah.
I would definitely want to go home than
Be in the
sit
jury,
there and
yeah.
jury for all that time. But I mean, I guess it would be kind of cool to.
Yeah, if I'm gonna play, I'm gonna play. Either I would want to be there to the very end, like if I was doing this. But being sent home first just sounds like why'd I even waste my time?
It's like, wow, I was like, I'm gonna be gone for the summer. Like, let me go wherever maybe you're working. You told them you're gonna need all this time off. And it's like, I'm back a week later.
Yeah, that would be terrible.
I know.
I would just not go back to work.
Yeah. I mean, they would see you on TV, so
I still couldn't go back to work.
They're like, now we know Kirsten landed about an hour ago. She could be in her shift by tomorrow.
But I still need that time off.
yeah.
To recover from the
I mean, it always sucks to be the first person sent home, but I mean,
yeah,
hey,
somebody's got to
someone
do
has
it.
to do it. Yeah.
And Kirsten, you were the one this time.
played a little too hard, a little too fast.
Yep, and you went home a little too fast. But anyway, that's our episode, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll have plenty of content coming out throughout the summer. And, well, actually now I think they started so late this year.
They
So
did. It was so weird.
Yeah.
So throughout the fall, I guess, summer, fall. But yeah, thanks for listening.
Bye.
And again, and again, thank you for listening to. And again, as always, thank you for listening to Who Wants to See My HOH Room podcast with all things Big Brother.
Catch
Until-
you next time.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.